Namaste friends, and thank you for joining me today. We have a wonderful calming evening flow for you, so if you'd like to begin at the base of your mat in a kneeling posture, knees and feet together. Just going to begin by opening the heart, so when you inhale, going to just reach the arms up above your head, look up towards the sky, open through the chest. Exhale, bring the arms forward. Take a few waves like this. Inhale, open through the chest. Exhale, come forward. Use the entirety of the back and spine just to make a nice big wave with your body and open the heart. One last time, open through the chest. And this time as you exhale and come forward, we're going to sink down into child's pose. Reach your fingertips nice and far, forehead to the mat. Elongate through the spine, open up the upper back. Hold for a few deep breaths, centering yourself for this practice. Close your eyes and go inward for a moment. Notice if you're holding any tension in any areas of your body. And if you are, treat these areas with care as we go through the flow. Slowly lift your head up off the mat, come onto the fingertips, and we're just going to thread the left arm underneath the right. Left palm is facing towards the sky, just taking a nice tricep opening stretch. This is also great for the left shoulder and just the left upper back as well. When you're ready, unthread the left arm and thread the right arm underneath the left. Again, palm is facing towards the sky. You can bring the forehead down to the mat if you can. Just hold for a few deep breaths, really getting in deep into that tricep and shoulder. Slowly return back to center, back into our child's pose. Hold for a breath. Then on your exhale, we're going to lift up into tabletop pose. We're going to take a few rounds of cat-cow. So as you lift the spine up towards the sky, we're going to inhale. As we exhale, drop the belly towards the mat. I'd like you to take this in a circular motion if you can. Really articulate through the spine. Use the breath to guide your spine as you move around in that circle. You can go in the opposite direction when you're ready. Really use the entirety of the spine and the shoulders, stretching out the upper back and even the hips here. Come back to neutral of the spine and exhale, sit back into child's pose. Inhale, spring forward, place all the weight into the hands, come into upward facing dog, thighs are up off the mat. Shoulders stacked over top of the wrists, maybe sway from side to side, get a little stretch in the lower back and the shoulders. Hold for a breath, then we're going to lower the chest all the way down, drop the thighs, we're going to push up into baby cobra, keeping a soft bend in the arms. We're just going to take a few waves like this, so exhale, lower the chest down, inhale, push up as high as you can. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, push up as high as you can, making sure that your head is the last thing to lift up and your head's the last thing to lift down towards the mat as well. Take a few more of these. Use the breath. Each time try and get a little higher in that cobra pose. Once more, again, lift up. Open up through the throat and the head. Exhale, lower down. Inhale as you lift up. This time we're going to bend the legs. Then we're going to lower back down, and we're going to bend the legs as we come up again, coming into almost king cobra pose if you can. Just taking a few waves like this. Again, come with the breath. Use the breath to guide your movement. Each time trying to get lower towards the feet. Now stay with your chest pressed on the mat. Take your arms out in front of you and come up onto your forearms, coming into Sphinx pose. Make sure your elbows are directly underneath the shoulders, your wrists are in line with the elbows, and your fingertips are splayed to get a nice surface area. Relax through the lower body, relax the glutes, relax the lower back, and just hold, closing your eyes and taking a few deep breaths. Slowly make your way into half frog on the right side. So take your knee so that's in line with the hip and the ankle is in line with the knee. Flex the foot and we're just going to fold down, bringing our forehead towards the mat or onto our hands. Just hold here for a few breaths, breathing deeply into this hip and inner thigh opening. Slowly come back up onto your forearms, take a deep breath. When you're ready, return the right leg to center and let's repeat on the left side. So take that 90-degree angle, check your alignment, relax the lower body, and then you can release the forehead to the mat or on top of your hands. Hold for a few deep breaths, close your eyes and focus on that hip opening. When you're ready, slowly come back up onto the forearms into our Sphinx pose with that half frog. Hold for a breath, focus on that hip opening. Then return the leg back to center, place the hands beside the ribs. We're just going to lift up into upward facing dog when you're ready. Thighs are off the mat. Then exhale, push the tailbone to the sky, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders, really drop the shoulders away from the ears. You can maybe walk out this downward facing dog if you feel you want to. Just hold, focusing on that lower back stretch and the stretch in the back of the legs as well. Keep holding deep inhales and exhales here. When you're ready, we're going to wave forward into high plank. Step our feet so that they're beside our hands, coming into yogic squat, so our feet are mat width apart. Feet are pointing away from the body towards the side. Place your hands over heart center and use the arms to push the knees away. Keep your back as straight as possible, crown of the head is pointing towards the sky. Hold for a few deep breaths, focusing on planting those heels on the mat and getting that nice deep inner thigh opening. Hold for a few deep breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose again and out through the mouth. When you're ready, lower the hips towards the mat. We're going to make our way into our next posture, butterfly pose. So soles of the feet together, knees are apart, press your hands into the knees if you want a deeper stretch. Or you can exhale and fold forward, hands are clasped over the toes. Keep your gaze ahead if you're not all the way down, or if you can release the forehead towards the mat. Just go as far as you can here, opening the hips and the inner thighs again. Make sure you're bending from the hips, not the lower back. Keep that spine as straight as possible. Slowly rise to a neutral position with the spine, and when you're ready, we're going to extend out the legs, squeeze the legs together, squeeze the thighs together, come into staff pose, inhale, arms to the sky, exhale, flex the feet, and we're just going to fold, reaching for our feet as much as you can. You can even place your hands underneath the knees if you don't want to go too far today, or if you want to advance, you can try and draw that forehead towards the knees and the shins. Hold for a few deep breaths, focusing on that stretch in the back of the legs. Again, bend from your hips, not your lower back. Keep that spine nice and straight, gazes ahead. Begin to rise into our staff pose yet again. Place your hands to the mat and we're just going to scoot our hips down the mat and exhale. When you're ready, lower down into a reclined position. Draw the knees in towards the chest, hug the knees in with our arms. Hold for a deep breath. Flex the feet when you're ready. We're going to extend the legs towards the sky. Just hold here for a moment, reaching towards the ankles if you can. Find a nice deep stretch in the back of the leg. When you're ready, clasp your hands around the left ankle, lower the right leg towards the mat, keep it nice and straight. Keep the left foot flexed, pulling the knee in towards the chest again, getting a nice deep hamstring stretch. If you'd like to go further, you can point and then flex the foot. Draw the right foot back in and then lower the left leg down. Again, we're taking that hamstring stretch this time on the right side. Flex the foot, or even point and then flex the foot to get a little extra stretch here. Hold for one more deep breath. And then when you're ready, lower that right leg all the way down again. Straighten out both legs. Then we're going to draw both legs in towards the body again. Hold for a breath. Extend them up towards the sky and then reach for the outside of the feet. Draw the knees in down towards the mat, coming into our happy baby pose. You can rock from side to side, getting a nice deep stretch in the hips and thighs, or you can just stay static, focusing on drawing those knees as far down as possible. Close your eyes and focus on that stretch, breathing deeply, with each breath going a little bit deeper, getting those knees even closer towards the mat. Join the knees back together, hug the knees into the chest, lift the face in towards the knees and just rock from side to side for a moment, massaging the lumbar spine and the sacrum as well as the middle spine. This is really good for relieving any digestive tension. And then release the feet down to the mat, keep the legs bent. Just going to take our hands flat on our thighs for a moment. Take a few deep breaths, close the eyes. Just focus on gratitude for this flow. Focus on loving yourself and appreciating your body for a moment. On your next inhale, reach the arms over the head and tuck the knees into the chest. Lift the hips up off the mat, and as you exhale, we're going to sweep forward, coming up into a seated posture. Join me in a comfortable posture in the center of your mat just to end the practice. Hands over heart center and say namaste to yourself. Thank you for joining.